Okay, well, let's start here. Good evening. My name is Lisa Dosooye, and I'm Head of Skills at the Mauritius Africa Fintech Hub. Thank you very much for joining us this evening to learn a little bit more about our new Future Fintech Champions program. Before we get started, I would just like to let you know that there is a Q&A function for today. So if you have questions about the program that pop into your head as you're listening, please do use that to drop me a message and I will address the program, address your questions towards the end. And otherwise, I hope that this little presentation will give you a much better idea of what the program is about. Okay, so first let me introduce the Mauritius Africa Fintech Hub. We are basically a hub that represents and brings together the fintech ecosystem in Mauritius. And we are here to facilitate the growth and development of the fintech sector. And we try to do that in a number of different ways. We do it through innovation and incubation programs to help assist startups with developing fintech ideas and services. We have our skills and capacity building branch, which is where our Future Fintech Champion program fits in. It's about building awareness and skills in the fintech sector. We facilitate investment and deal flow for the fintech sector, and we help to build and advocate for a conducive regulatory and policy framework for that will continue to help build the fintech sector in Mauritius. And we do this with the view of helping Mauritius to become the fintech hub for the African region. So why did we put together the Future Fintech Champions program? So we looked, and what we saw was that students have a bit of a problem. If they're interested in fintech, right now, there's not a lot of ways for them to learn about it. Let's imagine that you are currently studying banking and finance at a university in Mauritius. Your university degree is giving you the core essential knowledge and skills and the theoretical framework in order to understand the banking and finance industry. However, the problem right now is that technology is evolving very, very rapidly, and that's leading to major disruption for the traditional banking and financial services sector. It's really changing the whole business model for banks and for financial services. What we also see is that this disruption is coupled with the rise of a much more global job market. You can now telecommute to jobs anywhere in the world, and likewise other people from other parts of the world are able to work remotely for jobs in Mauritius. And what this is leading to is a much more competitive job market for students graduating. There is an increased need from industry for students that not only have the technical skills and knowledge, but also have very well developed soft skills. And this is not necessarily being addressed in their current university program. And you also need to be able to gain industry experience. To really stand out as a graduate, you not only need your degree, but you also need to be able to show that you have exposure to the industry and that you've been able to build real working industry knowledge. On the flip side, the fintech sector also has problems. We are disrupting the sector, as I've already talked about, and this is offering a whole new range of career opportunities. But the problem that we have is that students don't actually know what fintech is. Many have not been exposed to it and still don't have an understanding of what the opportunities might be. And as we've talked about before, the soft skills are not always there in the way that industry is looking for. The sector needs a lot of new talent to grow. In the next few years, banks in Mauritius alone will be looking for 150 to 200 new coders to help push forward their fintech projects. We are looking for students who are able to be the new breed of leaders for the fintech space, that understand the way the industry is moving, that understand the global trends. And this is hard to find right now. And part of that problem is that right now, fintech is not being integrated into most university curriculums. So even if you're studying banking or financial services, or you're studying accounting, you're studying something related to this space, what we're finding is that many students, when we go into universities and ask these audiences, you know, what is fintech? Have you heard of fintech? Unfortunately, the majority of students really don't know too much about it. And this is something that we need to address if we're going to encourage more of you to consider fintech as a long-term career. So what we've come up with is our Future Fintech Champions program. And this really is a program that is designed to enhance your existing degree. Okay, we're not trying to replace what you're studying at university. That remains core and essential knowledge for you to be able to build those basic skills. However, what we see is the Future Fintech Champions program is designed to enhance that, is designed to be a complement to your current degree program. And through this program, you will be able to build industry knowledge of the fintech sector. You'll be able to build skills around fintech and the underlying technologies. And you'll also gain exposure to all of MAFH's networks and programs. And through this, by the end of this one-year program, you should be able to graduate from this program not only with your degree, but with a portfolio of new skills, new knowledge, and with an industry network that you will be able to leverage in order to further your career in the fintech space. So the Mauritius Africa Fintech Hub is an industry association, and we are part of an ecosystem. And this is the main constituents in our ecosystem. So we are a membership organization. We are made up of startups and corporates who are actively developing or working on fintech products and services. We are part of an international Pan-African network. So we actually sit on the board of the Africa Fintech Network. And as part of that Africa network, we have also won the bid to host the annual Africa Fintech Festival, which is the largest fintech event in the African region. We were supposed to host this last year, and unfortunately COVID came along and scuppered those plans temporarily. However, the event will be taking place this June. And as part of this program, all our fintech champions will be involved in the development and participation in that international festival. And that's a really big deal. And I'll talk a bit more about that as we go on. And the other major constituent in our ecosystem is the regulators. So we work alongside regulators not only in Mauritius, but we also sit on Pan-African panels working with international regulators to help try to move regulation and policy in a direction conducive to the development of the fintech sector. So that's the ecosystem that we would be immersing you in as part of this program. So what does it look like to be part of this program? Okay, so first of all, you will have access to all of MAFH's program of workshops and talks and skill building exercises. So you'll be able to develop your knowledge of fintech. You'll be able to develop an understanding of the underlying technologies that are driving many fintech products and services. You will also be able to attend workshops that develop your entrepreneurial skills. So if you are thinking of starting your own startup after graduation, if you're already working on a project, this program is a fantastic complement that will help you build the necessary skills for developing that. And you will also develop your soft skills and your leadership skills. And I'll explain a little bit more about how that will happen. And not only do you get to be part of our skill building program, but you also get immersed into our industry network. So you'll be able to attend all of our networking events. We hold networking events every month, both local ones, and also we are involved in international networking events. Through these networking events, you will have access to industry leaders, to executives in corporates locally in Mauritius. You'll be able to make connections to business leaders, to the people who will be the decision makers for the sector. And also this will allow you to build out that network that will help you, that you will be able to leverage in the future, whether you're looking for a job, whether you're looking for an internship, whether you are looking to start a company or looking for investors. This is a fantastic way for you to develop and be immersed in that network. And as I mentioned before, this is an international network that we have access to here. And you'll gain industry exposure through this. So we will be putting together programs of internship and work placements. Because we are a membership organization, we do have our startups and corporates who are part of MAFH, and we will be, all of our programs will be putting together internship opportunities with our members and with others in the sector. And our Future Fintech Champions will be getting sort of priority access to these internship opportunities. You will get to participate in the Africa Fintech Festival. As I said before, this is a huge opportunity. This is a major international festival. It will be both a virtual and physical event. You will get the opportunity to be part of the organization committee for this, taking part in helping out backstage. Excuse me. You will get the opportunity, excuse me, participate in all of the sessions, be there in the room for the keynotes, and a whole host of other opportunities around that FinTech Festival. So this is an exciting thing. It's going to be a major event. We're hoping to attract around 2,000 people from across the African region and beyond to this event, including you know, startups and corporates from all over the African region working in the FinTech space. And you will also get to participate in our regulatory roundtables. So MAFH conducts quarterly regulatory roundtables. These are events where we bring together our FinTech participants in the ecosystem, so our startups, our corporates, and we sit them down at the table with representatives from all the major regulatory bodies in Mauritius. And we facilitate the conversation, and we facilitate conversations around the pain points, the issues that are affecting the industry. This is an enormous opportunity. This is something that students would never normally get to witness or participate in. But as one of our Future Fintech Champions, you get to sit at that same table and hear firsthand what is happening in the regulatory space, where the pain points are, and be part of the discussion around where the solutions are moving forward. So being part of that is an enormous opportunity. Excuse me. Okay, so being part of this program is not just about what you get from this program in terms of access to networks, in terms of skill building and workshops, in terms of industry exposure. It's also about participation. So what we require of our FinTech champions is that you be an active participant in the growth of this ecosystem, that you become part of it. And how we want you to do that is to aid us in spreading the word about FinTech. It's really about helping us to raise awareness around FinTech in order to drive its growth, in order to attract your fellow students into considering it as a career path, in order to make people aware of how the FinTech sector is disrupting traditional banking and finance, and how many opportunities there are available in this sector. So our FinTech champions will be asked to organize events back on campus to help promote FinTech, to help bring it to your fellow students by organizing talks, by organizing workshops, and by organizing other events like hackathons. And in fact, this program does include an inter-university hackathon event that you will be coordinating and running. So just to give you some insight into the kinds of workshops and talks that we're running, here's just a sample of some of the things that will be taking place this year. So we've got our pitching and pitch deck workshop, which actually we had one session of it yesterday. We'll be running it again later in the year. Our introduction to FinTech, which is taking place next week. So I invite everybody listening to come and take part in that event and just learn about FinTech from the basics up. We've got AI and banking and finance. Next month, we have blockchain fundamentals. We've got introduction to MOCAS, aligning business strategy and technology, and many, many more over the course of the coming year. So as I said before, as part of this program, you are expected to be an active contributor to the FinTech ecosystem. So all of the students that we accept onto this program will be required to attend and assist MAFH in the running of our training and workshops. So yes, you get to come to the workshops, you get to learn from some of the best facilitators on the island. We also expect you to lend a hand as we're doing that, so checking people in, helping spread the word, etc. But you get to be at all those events, and that is a requirement. We do understand that you might not be able to make 100% of them. You do have your university commitments, but we do ask for a commitment of at least attendance at 70% of the events that we will run during the year. You will get to assist and attend at the regulatory roundtables. So your role as a FinTech champion at the regulatory roundtables is to listen to the conversations and help us to record the discussions taking place. So you will be there in an observational role. And as I said before, this is an enormous opportunity. And you'll also attend onboarding training. So we will be inviting all of the people selected for this program to come together because we are building a community here. And we will be providing you with some help, with some training, with some guidance on how you can run events on your campus. So the second element, apart from participation in our programs, is that you have to commit to organizing events on campus. So you work with the other FinTech champions from your university to put together speaker series, workshops, and also to help organize and participate in the inter-university hackathon. And then the other element to how we want you to contribute to the ecosystem is really to evangelize. It's to spread the word about FinTech, to raise awareness about the FinTech space. And there are lots of ways in which we can do that. Here are just some of the ways in which you'll be contributing, but we are open to also your ideas too. So we welcome you coming to us with ideas about how else we can spread the word about FinTech. But you will be asked to run, for example, booths at your university's career fair where you can hand out information, tell your fellow students a little bit about what FinTech is. We will be having a blog and we will ask you to all contribute articles around FinTech. What are you interested in? What's exciting you? Where do you see trends going? What did you think of the last workshop? These are ways in which you can help spread the word and build a community around FinTech among students in Mauritius. And we will be building a LinkedIn community of FinTech champions. So these will be your peers. And as you graduate from this program, as you move on in your career, this will give you this ready-made network of peers that you can draw on as you continue through your career. So how can you get on this program? What is the eligibility requirements? Well, firstly, you have to be a student enrolled in a FinTech related program in Mauritius. Now, fintech-related program, we have a very broad definition of this. That could include, if you're in a dedicated fintech course, if you're studying something related to banking, finance, accounting, if you're involved in the technical side, maybe you're studying computer science, but you're interested in how you can apply technology to the finance sector. Maybe you're studying AI, or maybe you're a budding entrepreneur. We are willing to, if you can make a case for it, if you can make a connection to the fintech space, then I'm willing to consider you for the program. But we are looking for motivated individuals. You do need to have, we're saying at least 1 year left on your degree program. This is because there are deliverables associated with this program. So we recommend that you have at least a year left in order to be able to deliver on the events element, on the awareness building element at your university. Now, if you're in your final year and you only have 8 months left, if you only have 10 months left, do still apply to the program. If you can make a commitment, if you can convince me that you can fulfill the deliverables in the time frame left on your degree program, I am willing to consider the application. So don't be put off if you've got a little bit less than 1 year left. Do still make an application, but do be aware that you will still have to fulfill the deliverables of the program. And we are seeking people who have a demonstrated interest in the fintech sector. So this program isn't for everyone. You do need to show a commitment to the space. That might be that you have attended, that you're doing online courses in fintech. You've already done something related to the fintech sector. You're reading articles. You've done a MOOC. You've done an online course. You're already developing a fintech idea. If you can show me some sort of commitment, some sort of interest in the fintech space, then I'm really interested to hear from you. We are being selective with this program. This is going to be a small cohort of students from across Mauritius. We are being selective, so the stronger you can make your application, the more you can show your passion and enthusiasm for the sector, the more likely you are to be accepted into the program. So do spend some time on your application and really make it shine. What does a Future Fintech Champion look like? So we do already have a Future Fintech Champion enrolled in the program. This is Lukman. He is a third-year BCom Banking and Finance student at Curtin University. He has a very demonstrated interest in fintech. He approached us last year before this program was even up and running. He was already studying fintech in his spare time. He'd taken a number of online courses. He was reading about the space. He'd done courses in big data, banking, leadership, management. So he was already immersing himself in the sector, and he's chosen to take part in this program because he really sees the opportunity for building on those skills more, but also in helping him to develop the network and the business sector exposure that he's really looking for. So, if you're interested in applying to this program, you've got about a week. The closing date is the 31st of January 2021. I do encourage you to make an application to the program. I think this is a very exciting opportunity if you're a student interested in the fintech space. If you follow this link here, you can read a little bit more about what I've been talking about, and there is a link there to the application that you need to fill out. There's an online application form. As I said before, closing date is January 31st, so you do need to be proactive and get your skates on if you're interested. Once applications close on January the 31st, we will be going through the selection process, and we hope to onboard students into the program by mid-February. So I do encourage you to consider applying. If you have any questions about this program, There is a Q&A function, so please do drop me a question now if you have anything that you'd like me to address or any points of clarification. If you think of something later on, you can reach out to me also. My name is Lisa Dosooye, and my address is lisa@mauritiusfintech.org. So do follow up by email if you have further questions. But otherwise, I thank you so much for your attention. I hope that you've found this information session useful. I hope that it has inspired you to apply for the program. And I look forward to seeing your applications. So I'm going to hang around online for a couple more minutes in case you have any questions. But if not, thank you for attending. And I hope to see your application winging its way to me in the next few days. Thank you. Good evening.